Liverpool are the only unbeaten team left in the Premier League. Chelsea could shoot themselves in the foot when it comes to David Luiz. Arsenal gained an unwanted Premier League record. Harry Kane has a potential audition at the new camp tomorrow. And of course, I'll be looking back at your Friday Feels predictions. That and more coming up in the next few minutes, as I'm your host, Matt Froelich. You are the Onefootballers, and this is the Daily News. First off, and Liverpool are the only unbeaten team remaining in the Premier League after they smashed Bournemouth this weekend and Manchester City lost to Chelsea. This brought together an incredible series of events over the last few weeks, which has basically meant that the title race is definitely up for grabs, regardless of what people have been saying in the last few weeks. It is definitely not a two-horse race. If you take Manchester United out of the mix, it leaves the top five all with a realistic chance of taking home the title next May. As for Liverpool's game against Bournemouth, well, Mo Salah is back on track and back in the goal-scoring charts after bagging a hat-trick. And as for Chelsea, well, David Luiz was the hero. However, they might just be losing him within the next few weeks. This is because Chelsea have a policy of not giving any player at the club over 30 more than a year's contract extension, which is some category that David Luiz falls into. Next summer, his contract will be running out, and as of January, he could discuss a potential new deal elsewhere with a foreign club. This means that someone like PSG, where he could be returning to, even Juventus, Bayern Munich or Real Madrid, who have all been linked with the player, could offer David Luiz a 2, 3, 4, even 5-year deal. Now, of course, they'll be pretty crazy to do so. However, if David Luiz can find a 2 or 3-year deal abroad, he'll probably take it instead of just another year at Chelsea. But away from the transfer news just for a second, and to Arsenal, who have an unwanted Premier League record on their books as of the weekend. They did manage to beat Huddersfield 1-0 to continue their amazing unbeaten streak. However, they did gain a record for the most amount of players booked for simulation in one game, which is 3. Now that's pretty embarrassing considering their fantastic form recently, and even if Lucas Torreira did bag the winner at the weekend, who coincidentally is definitely my signing of the season so far, let me know yours in the comment section down below, it still meant that Arsenal did look pretty bad. And under Unai Emery, an exponent of the beautiful game, much like Arsene Wenger, this is pretty shit. Arsenal, sort it out. So for our last bit of news today, and it comes from Barcelona, where tomorrow night they'll be hosting Tottenham Hotspur and, more importantly, Harry Kane. This is because apparently Barcelona are planning a £200 million plus move for the England captain. If Kane manages to somehow drag Spurs into the knockout stage of the Champions League tomorrow night by getting a result in the Nou Camp, it'll only further the Nou Camp officials' agenda, and a move to Barcelona could be on the cards. However, Harry Kane dragging Spurs into the knockout stage of the Champions League is more than an uphill task, and even more so considering Barcelona's last game. Over the weekend, they beat City rivals Espanyol comfortably 4-0, with Lionel Messi scoring 2 direct free kicks in the La Liga game for the first time in his amazing career. It's crazy to think after all the records that he's broken, he's still managing to find some to break, even at the age of 31. So it's more than a daunting task for Tottenham tomorrow, but it could be a big evening for Harry Kane. And lastly, we come to Friday Feels. This is where I'm going to take a look back at all of your predictions over the weekend's football, and shock horror, no one actually got that many right. Now, it was a difficult weekend to predict, especially with Manchester City losing and seemingly Boca not winning, which is what a lot of you suggested for the Copa Libertadores final. However, there were just a few of you who managed to get some of the scorelines right. Pipop, Sawanabun, Lucas Su and Casapinos all got the Dortmund versus Schalke game right. Glody Salo managed to get the Chelsea-Manchester City one right as well. He's the only person I saw who managed to get that score correct, which is understandable considering even I thought that Manchester City were going to win. Arand Mutha got the Spurs-Leicester score right, with Tottenham winning 2-0 at the King Power Stadium, and Levi Nation managed to get the Atalanta against Portland Timbers score right in the final of the MLS Cup, 2-0. As for the other game which we were talking about, the Copa Libertadores final, well, I didn't see anybody get the score right. Okay, there weren't actually that many entrants for that game, but it did look like a pretty mad one. And for those of you who saw any players in the crowd, well, that was pretty cool to see so many of them there. Now, I've said before that River Plate were the ones who caused the suspension and relocation of the game by throwing stuff at the Boca team bus. However, it did end up working out in their favour. Can we draw a line between this? I'm not too sure, to be honest. Both teams had to move the game, both teams flew to Spain, both teams played, and if anything, they were on a level playing field after the 2-2 draw in the first leg. So that's all from me for today. Make sure you smash that like button down below, and of course, let me know in the comment section all your thoughts on today's daily news. You can also click here to check out all of the other videos we've got going on OneFootball. But until next time, I will see you in a few days as I'm off to the Nou Camp to watch Tottenham take on Barca. See you guys later.